And joining us right now on the Rothman Orthopedics guest line on this happy Hughsday morning, Hugh Douglas III. What's up, Hugh?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. And you know what? I miss the days where you and I would sit in the press box at Lincoln Financial Field, and you would teach little Mark. You teach little fella Mark, right, with a full head of beautiful, luscious, dark brown hair.
I was gonna say, hey, Mark, I was gonna say it, but I wasn't gonna say it. I was thinking it, but I wasn't. But yeah, that Mark had hair,
and he was like 30 pounds lighter, or 40.
Yeah, hey.
And you'd be like, all right, look, here, watch this stunt, watch what they do here, all that stuff. And you'd you really break it down for me from your perspective and watching the line. I started watching the line of scrimmage as opposed to the ball because of conversations I've had with you. And then obviously the Falcons played the Patriots and lost, good God, on Thursday night. So that left you wide open to sit down and watch play for play this Philadelphia Eagles team take on the New Orleans Saints, arch rival and nemesis of the Atlanta Falcons. I have to ask you, what was it like to sit there amongst, I believe, a Saints fan, you were telling me, and watch the Eagles?
My man Arthur Trish. Shout out to Arthur Trish. We went to watch the game. Big Saints fan, big supporter of the Saints. So, I wore not this hoodie, but I had an Eagles hoodie on, because I had to represent. And it was fun to watch, man. Like everything that I heard that Philadelphia wasn't like from the games that I didn't get a chance to watch, they were there. I saw guys tweet about how they were running the ball. They ran the ball successfully, and things like that. But I know I saw those two Miles Sanders, he gave it up twice. He gave it up twice. But
yeah, one officially, yeah.
Situation where you give up two, you fumble twice and still win a football game the way that you won it, and your quarterback's playing the way that he's playing. I mean, I honestly feel like Jalen Hurts is starting to come into his own, man. And listen, you look at the schedule outside of the Dallas Cowboys, if I'm not mistaken, you got Jacksonville coming up. You got the Washington football team.
Jets.
It's Jets. I knew it was one of them sorry clubs. The Jets. Not Jacksonville.
Yeah.
It was the Jets. The Jaguars. That's not the Jaguars.
Correct.
It's the Jets. Well, you got the Jets coming up. You got the football team twice. And you got the Giants again. Come on, man. That might be a playoff scenario. That's a playoff scenario.
Hey, that's right, man. You're talking about a possible 11-win season for Philadelphia Eagles.
Maybe.
It's still on the table, which is all that matters. All right, so we'll talk plenty about Jalen Hurts, but you're watching the game with a Saints fan and out-of-towner, obviously. When this lady was shown, I'm just curious if your friend happened to catch this lady.
Listen, Mark, this is the beautiful thing about it. I didn't actually see her on the television screen, but Twitter, that God bless Twitter, because everything on Twitter that you miss,
right,
you can always see when you go to your Twitter feed. And when I saw her, I just had to laugh because, and somebody, I think it was, I forgot who it was. Somebody tweeted out that she must be a CEO of a big company. Like that. That's Philadelphia in a nutshell.
Yeah, for the people listening on the podcast today, that was the mayor. I think they're calling her the mayor of Delco. They're calling her the mayor. I called her the first lady of Philly fans, but whatever.
Okay,
yeah.
Both of them fit.
They absolutely do. So overall opinion of Jalen Hurts, and then I want to ask something a little bit more specific. But overall, of Jalen Hurts, you just said he's coming around right now. He's coming into his own. What are you making of Jalen Hurts?
I think that for where the NFL is going as far as quarterbacks are concerned, he's right there in that mode. The athletic quarterback, the kind of guy that puts stress and pressure on defenses. Because the New Orleans Saints have a pretty good defense. If I'm not mistaken, they were top 10 defense going into this game.
Oh, they were number one rushing defense in the NFL.
Yeah, they're top 10 defense. So they're a good defense. And they didn't look that great yesterday. And I mean, when you talk about him being able to make plays with his legs and everything, I mean, that's the NFL now. The quarterback position, you have to be a little bit more. You got to be able to throw the ball down the field. But if you can run, which is a big topic of conversation here in Philadelphia, here in Atlanta right now, because I got my Philadelphia gear. We're here in Atlanta right now, is the mobility of the quarterback or the lack of mobility of the quarterback and how they want somebody back there that can make plays with his legs and things of that nature. So it's a big deal when you have a quarterback that's able to do all of that and put stresses on defenses.
One of the things that I really like about Jalen Hurts is I would watch Carson Wentz and I would say, get down, slide, throw the ball away, get out of bounds. And I feel like with Jalen Hurts, I'm hardly ever saying that. Like, he's not just a runner, but he's a smart runner that slides when he has to, gets out of bounds, throws it away. Like, that to me is what separates him from just some guy that's just trying to show his sheer athleticism.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? Like, I've said that about Russell Wilson, is the fact that he's a guy, like, look at him. He's not that big, but you never see him take a big hit. Like, he pulls the ball down and he runs and he gets those tough yards, but he never takes a big hit. And you have to have that. And that's why when you hear him saying he wants to play for 10 more years or something like that crazy.
Right.
As long as he can still move around and be mobile, who knows? Now, I wouldn't say 10, maybe 6 more years, but hell, that's pretty good. That's pretty good at that position.
So I'm going to ask you a question that I got asked yesterday morning. I was doing a hit with the Fox 29 guys, Mike Jarek, Alex Holly here in Philly. And
Mike.
Yeah. Of course. How could you forget Mike Jarek?
Cannot forget Mike Jarek.
So he asked me and Gary Cobb, we were both doing the show this morning, and he said, or yesterday morning, and he goes, is it a good thing? Like, you watch Jalen Hurts, you're wowed by him. 3 rushing touchdowns. That's incredible. But is it for a quarterback? Like, what should you be taking away from this? Gary said, no, he's eventually going to get hurt. My argument was more along the lines of at least he's a smart runner, and I could take him doing this now as a very young quarterback making his 15th ever start in the NFL. Then I want him to mature. What's your take on a running back running as well as Jalen Hurts, who, by the way, just for reference, is second to only Lamar Jackson in rushing quarterback numbers right now in rushing yards, and I believe 9th overall or 10th overall in the NFL?
I would say I'm probably in lockstep with you and a little bit of Gary, because you don't want your quarterback to get hurt. You don't want to take those penitentiary chances like that. But you want to win football games. And it's incumbent upon a coach to groom that young quarterback and put him in positions and allow his game to evolve. Now, initially, that should always be a part of his game. Kind of like when you see Aaron Rodgers. If Aaron Rodgers has to, Aaron Rodgers will pull it down and he will run it for a first down, or he will extend plays with his legs. But Aaron Rodgers' primary objective is to kill you with his arm. That's how it should be. You know, like in the back of a defender's mind, say if I was playing him, I'm going to always be concerned about him getting outside the pocket and running for a first down. So that's going to make me a little hesitant whenever I try to pass rush him or anything like that, because I know that he has the ability to do that. But if he's sitting back there carving me up, that's just that's another weapon in his arsenal. You know what I mean? Because he can do both. So now I have to defend against both. I have to defend against his arm because he can gut me with the throw, and then I got to defend against his legs. So it puts the defense in a stressful position. It really, really does.
So after the game, Nick Sirianni came out and he said that there was a lull there offensively. They scored a touchdown with about 4 minutes left in the first quarter offensively. Then Darius Slay had a return, but still obviously not a touchdown by the offense. And then Jalen Hurts had that 24-yard scramble where he juked Granderson out of his pad.
He hit it with the dead leg, like
Yes, exactly. And Nick Sirianni comes out after the game and says, you know what, I was a little too I took the foot off the gas. I got a little too passive in the offense. I stopped being aggressive. I took the foot off the gas, as they say. When you're playing a game, and at one point they were winning, I think it was 27-7. When you're playing a game as a player, and you know it, I mean, you can't help it. If I'm noticing it watching from home, you have to notice it as a player as well. How do you balance let's still realize we have this game pretty much in hand, but also let's not give it away and take our foot off the gas? What's the balancing act there that takes place?
I think the biggest thing is you don't want to embarrass anybody, but you're 4-6. You're in a hunt now. Like when you talk about the NFL, there's not a whole lot of teams that are top heavy. You got like 3 or 4 teams in the NFC. On the NFC side, they got like 8 wins, and everybody else is in that 5-6 win range.
Right.
And you're sitting right there at 4. Man, you ain't got time to be worrying about anybody else's damn feelings. You know what I mean?
See, thank you.
Listen, you're fighting for your playoff lives. You got the fans engaged now. Man, go out there and win football games. Be damn somebody else's feelings right now. I know it's the holidays and everything. You feeling festive, but this ain't the time to be feeling festive, playboy. This ain't the time. This ain't the time for that.
Now I'm picturing Nick Sirianni bringing Sean Payton a nice cranberry. Yeah, there you go. There's a little cranberry sauce.
I respect you so much. Hey, man, damn that. Damn that. We got places to go and people to see.
Like, And you're right. They were sitting there going into this game 4-6. They get the win. They finally, extinguish any fire that the Saints were starting up. They get to 5-6 right now. They have a chance to beat the Giants and be a 500 football team for the first time since the second week of the season.
Yes, and and everything is in front of you. Your biggest obstacle right now. Don't want to look too far ahead. Because, like you said, you got the Jets and the Jaguars, or whoever I said was coming up.
It's just for confirmation, it is the Jets.
Yeah, yes, the Jets. But
3-letter team who sucks starts with the J.
Basically. And plus, we've been talking about the Urban Meyer situation down here for a while, so that's why we have the Jags coming up this week. So, yeah, it's like it's all Mark is starting to run together for me, dog.
Right.
It runs together.
Right.
Yeah. To that point, man. Listen, you're in a great spot, and not to look ahead. But right now, if you look at the schedule right now, the only team that has a winning record on that schedule that you have coming up is the Dallas Cowboys. Everybody else is in that kind of that limbo, that same kind of limbo you're in. And you got 2 against the Washington football team. Get one. You all you got to do is get one. Get one of those. You take care of business with everybody else. You in business. You in the money. You in the money.
And when they face the Cowboys, that won't be till, I can't believe I'm saying this date as a regular season game. January 9th, they have the Cowboys, the last game of the season, week 18, game number 17. And the Eagles still have their bye week in hand, by the way. That bye week doesn't come in until December 12th. So they still got that in hand to take a break a little bit through this there. Yeah. How would you be feeling if you're playing until January 9th as a player there?
As long did the check clear? That's all. Check clear.
I thought you'd say that.
I mean, what's funny, man? When you think about it, only thing that really has been pushed back is the schedule, the timing of everything. But you're playing 20, like you playing 20 games regardless. Like you're playing 20. Like technically, you're playing 20 games. Like no matter how you slice that piece of pie, 4 preseason games and 16 regular season games. And practices with you just have to do what you got to do for your body to be right, man, and all the other good stuff. But technically, the schedule really hasn't changed. You just got one more meaningful game, as opposed to it being like one of those games that the I was about to say the freshmen, but I meant the vets wasn't playing.
Right. Gotcha.
That's it.
A couple of quick ones for you here. Jordan Mailata looked like he was stepping up for Jalen Hurts there. It was a little play with that Davenport fella, a couple of different plays. One, there was actually a scrum on the ground. When a team has somebody stepping up for the quarterback the way Jordan Mailata was, what does that mean to a locker room?
You mean when you have offensive linemen beating up defensive linemen? Because that's basically what we're talking about.
Yeah.
That's what you want.
Yeah.
I mean, it was funny because my friend I was sitting there talking to, we saw when Cam Jordan somebody crack blocked Cam Jordan or something. And I was like, hey, man, I said, them cats in Philly nasty. I said, hey, man, them offensive linemen pretty nasty. Hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So, I played with a couple cats like that, 2 cats that went into the Hall of Fame. So, I was like, hey, bro, it's a good thing when you got your offensive linemen that play like that. That's a good thing, for real.
Yeah, you always said that, Trey always played, up to snuff, totally level. And John Running was a gentleman.
Hey, we're old now. It's cool. He played dirty. It's cool. He know he played dirty.
There was one more. Oh, I have to ask you this question here. You got to see Jonathan Gannon's defense for the first time since week 1. And week 1, they looked pretty good against the Falcons, and then we discovered the Falcons aren't that good a football team. Not for nothing. What did you make of the defense overall?
They look frenzied. They looked exciting. They looked hungry. I liked how, man, they looked like a cohesive unit. And then when I think it was the first pick that they got, when they ran to the side and they all did the little dance or whatever that they do, I really like that about this. They got a little bit of attitude about them, man. It's like they're having fun. And that's the most important thing. Around this time of the year, because everybody's banged up, you want to have fun. You want to have fun. You want to be out there enjoying what you do.
I have to ask you this, and this is a very controversial subject, and I know a lot of people bat this around when just having friendly conversation. Other than turkey, the best thing on a Thanksgiving table?
Macaroni and cheese. Gotta be. Macaroni and cheese. See, I don't know. Are you a sweet potato pie guy or a pumpkin pie guy?
I'm really neither. I look for a cheesecake. I look for
a cheesecake fan too.
Yeah, I was never a big pumpkin pie guy.
If the mac and cheese ain't right, that's a deal breaker.
I've never had mac and cheese. I've never had mac and cheese Thanksgiving.
Listen, Mark, mac and cheese is a staple in the black community. Listen, seriously, all jokes aside, there has been controversial conversations had over who made the mac and cheese. And there have been family feuds. And families have been divided on how well the mac and cheese was. No lies being told. None. Like the first question, hey man, who making the mac and cheese? Is Sarah making or Auntie Clarice? Auntie Clarice mac and cheese be on point. If you got somebody that's a rookie in the mac and cheese game,
yeah,
and she coming to the house, she better be on point. And none of that Velveeta junk either. We talking about that government cheese, not government cheese. We talking government cheese. Has to be. And it has to be cut in them squares. Has to be that big blocky stiff macaroni and cheese. And it better be hidden. And it better be all crusty on the sides too.
No, now there.
Yeah. And if you really want to be fancy with it, 5 cheese blend.
What?
At least 5.
You're out of your damn mind.
I might be making that 5 up, but at least 2. Listen, I put up like 3 fingers, but at least it has to be a blended cheese. It has to be.
Okay,
that's the best. It's the best.
See, my wife always makes fun of me because I don't mind mixing food. Like I loved mashed potatoes and corn. I don't touch cranberry. I hate anything cranberry. I'm actually I think I'm allergic to it because I eat it and I throw up. But anyway, the story for another day.
That sounds like that might be allergic.
We're not doctors, but just assuming.
Yeah, that sounds bad.
That's like the only reaction I have to any food. But I always like the mac. I love mac and cheese. I've never had it for Thanksgiving. It was always with my mom being Polish and my dad being Italian. Thanksgiving was always a Polish holiday. So I would say this: my grandmother would make this cabbage, this like roasted cabbage with bacon in it and stuff, vinegar, old school cabbage. This stuff was I would fight family members. Like when we stopped having it all together, when the family just got too big, that was the thing we all missed the most. And like my mom and a couple of my aunts tried to make the same cabbage.
It's not the same.
And it's not even close. Not even close.
Yeah, man. It's the macaroni cheese. I don't really eat it as much as I used to, but when certain family members make it, you got to try it. You have to because you know they mac and cheese is fire. It ain't fire. It's fire. So yeah,
I can gotta
have it.
That's amazing. Hugh Lamont Douglas III, always a joy, always a pleasure speaking to you, my friend. If I don't talk to you, happy Thanksgiving, brother. Thanks for all the appearances.
Everybody that listens to the Farzy Show or watches the Farzy Show, happy Thanksgiving. And hey, listen, y'all out there cooking that mac and cheese, 4 cheese blend, at least 4 cheeses. Gotta be 4 cheese.
Hugh Lamont Douglas III on this happy Hughsday morning. Thank you, Hugh.
Peace.